Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to GFUNK post fight call in show. Hit me. Thank you all so much. Far too kind. Thank you. Have a seat now. All right. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Make sure you hit the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. Man, we got a lot of fights to talk about tonight. But I'm back, guys. I'm back. I was gone for a little bit. I missed a few prediction videos. Missed a post-fight call-in show last weekend. We've had a lot of fights over the past 2 weekends, but I was gone for good reason. The wife and I added a new addition to the family. So, there's that. We're happy. I'm back and I'm ready to talk some boxing, man. We had a lot of fights tonight. We had fights on the Zone. We had fights on PBC. We had fights on ESPN. A lot to talk about. So I want to go ahead and I want to talk to you guys about all these fights. So I want to mention some things real quickly here. I want to start off with Miguel Berchelt. Now, I said I made a community post about 3 hours ago, and I said, I just have this feeling that Nakathila is gonna stop Berchelt. Styles make fights. We all know that. And look, Nakathila is not the most fundamentally sound guy out there. He's just not. But what he does have is good punching power and good hand speed. That's one thing I noticed in the Shakur Stevenson fight. And a guy like Berchelt, whose volume, pressure, not a whole lot of defense, I felt like that was a recipe for disaster tonight. And that's exactly what happened. He looked horrible, looked like shit in there tonight. Didn't look good at all. Shout out to my boy Major Key Boxing in the house, who predicted the same thing as me, a stoppage by Nakathila. Let's give Major Key a hand for that one. Good call, man. Good call. But yeah, I think that Berchelt, in my opinion, he's got to hang him up. Or if he's going to continue to fight, he can't fight at this level anymore. Guys that are in the top 6 or 7 in the division are going to be too much for him. My man Mario P here, who said that he thought Berchelt was going. He said Berchelt looked awful. I was hoping the Mexicano would bounce back. Wasn't a big fan, but I was rooting for the guy. He's washed, finished. At least at this level, I would agree. Yes, my man HCP Boxing D Style is here. What's going on, man? I'm getting ready to open up the phone lines here in a minute. I'm going to be on for about 45 minutes or so. But I want to say again, Berchelt, yeah, at this level, I don't see it happening for him anymore, man. I just don't. I'm sorry, I just don't. Let's go over to the UK. I got my scorecard here. The main event over there, Kiko Martinez versus Josh Warrington. Now, I had Warrington up by 1 point going into that last round where they stopped it. Bruce Goes, what's going on, man? I felt like Tony Belhue's scorecard was just absolutely ridiculous. He had Warrington winning every round. I didn't see that. Martinez goes down to the first after getting headbutted, right? Okay. The very next round, Warrington is warned again for a headbutt. Round number 4, he's warned again for headbutting. And he's also warned in round 6. Now, how many times you got to warn a guy before you take a point, before you do something, Because not only was he headbutting, you could see he was doing it intentionally. It was doing damage. It was doing damage to Martinez. You could see it right away, And that sucks, man. It's unfortunate that we see stuff like this happen in boxing. Cuts and headbutts like that, man, those aren't things to play with, man. Guys, they could suffer a really bad cut and their career could be done. So, I think something needs to be done, man. Too many warnings. At one point, you got to fucking say something. Give me a second, guys. I had to drink some water real quick. I didn't want you guys to hear that, but let's see here. Major Key says, I think they stopped it prematurely. I did predict Warrington by UD, though. So maybe I'm biased. No, I think it was a little premature. My issue was, again, the headbutting. I mean, you could see him literally just, like this, getting inside and just, I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Yeah, cut him 3 times with headbutts. The guy had cuts over both eyes, had a cut in the middle of his forehead. That's just ridiculous, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of guys complain about Josh Taylor and what he does that's dirty, where he likes to control guys with forearms or shoulders or even the gloves sometimes, get head control and then bam, shoot a shot. Or, if he's here with the elbow, he'll come with an uppercut or a hook. To me, that's crafty. That's not dirty. Is he bending the rules? Yeah, you can't really measure a guy when you're fighting. But leaning in and headbutting guys intentionally, like the way that Warrington does, and this is the second time in a row, 2 fights in a row now, where cuts have happened because of this guy headbutting. Like, it's getting out of hand. Somebody's got to do something. All right. I mean, I was damn near saying, let's disqualify this guy for this. Like, this, you could see he's doing it on purpose. I mean, just a bad referee in there. But let's shift over to PBC because I want to talk about all these things. I want to get your guys' opinions. I'm going to open up the phone lines here in a few minutes, guys. Stick around. I want to talk to you guys about these fights tonight. I want to talk about the co-feature on the PBC card. We have Michel Rivera versus Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno. Thought that was a pretty decent fight. Now, I scored it 7-3 for Michel Rivera. I felt like he kept his distance very well with the jab, fought at his distance all night, controlled the ring. And Adorno had some moments. He did rock him in round 6, I believe. And there was another round where he landed a nice little double left hook that I felt got Rivera's attention as well. But for a majority of the fight, it was the jab of Rivera that really set the tone for him tonight and got him the win. And I like the way that he stuck behind that jab. And like I said, controlled range and made Adorno, I feel like he moved just a little too much in there tonight when he didn't have to. There was times where he was in there in the pocket. He was able to change levels and get low and land some hooks. Just not enough of that. Not enough of that. And I want to also mention this. His coach was telling him when that fight was over, look, don't have your head down. Keep your head up. We'll learn from this and we'll get better. That's what I like to hear from a coach, man. Don't let these guys get too down on themselves after one loss. And us, the fans, we shouldn't just throw guys away because of one loss. I think that's very unfortunate what happens sometimes here with the boxing fans. We throw fighters away because they lose one time. We can't do that, especially with a young fighter. Both these guys are young, less than 20 fights each. So I'm sure the Blessed Hands Adorno will come back. And I like what I see in Rivera, man. The guitar man comes back and gets a win as well. So, hey, Dominicanos, hey, guys did well tonight. I like it, man. I like it. I'm liking it, We need you guys to get back in there, man. It's always good to have the island boys, the guys from Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic. Always good to have those guys, those islands with good fighters coming out. You know what I'm saying? Major Key says, I think people are already trying to trash Rivera because they didn't know who Adorno was. His brother is more talented than him, but he's decent. I agree 100% with that. Jeremy is a little bit better, but I think Joseph is just as good. Now, from what I heard from some people, he's got a little bit of discipline problems and things like that. Again, he's still young enough to clean that type of stuff up. So I look forward to seeing him back. I really do. Tszyu makes his U.S. debut tonight against Gausha. And look, man, I thought we were going to have an interesting fight. Gausha lands a nice, clean counter right hand right on the button, stuns Tszyu, stunned him. It really did shock him. He goes down, gets up, and in my opinion, dominates the rest of the fight. Constant pressure, going around the shell. Again, Gausha just shelled up, man. Once he got hit with something that buzzed him that he didn't like, he shelled up, and that was pretty much the rest of the fight. But I like the way that Tszyu was working behind his jab. I like the way that he was, trying to go around the guard, because you know they're saying the high guard does got holes in it. When you shelled up like this, you know you can find holes in there. I like how he was trying to peel away the guard, and then try to sneak shots in. I think that's really good veteran crafty stuff by Tszyu. Although I don't like how he gets squared up. He definitely gets squared up when he's coming forward and he's got his guy against the ropes. Got to work on that. Got to have better balance in there. I don't think that's why he got dropped. I think he did get hurt by that right hand, but he got up and recovered right away. And I felt like he went on to win the fight pretty convincingly, man. Pretty convincingly. So, guys, those are my quick thoughts. I couldn't keep score because both main events run at the same time. So I wasn't even gonna attempt to score the rounds. It's just I was going back and forth. I had two TVs on them like this, and I'm missing a whole minute of one fight to the next, and impossible to do, man. Impossible. Let's see. I am now certain that Tszyu can be beat by quite a few fighters at 154 and 160. He's definitely got action. He definitely has some action. Guys, phone lines are open now. Numbers on the screen, 916-572-1020. Let's talk some fights, man. Call in, give me your guys' thoughts on what we've seen tonight. As much as I love to watch boxing and as much as I can't get enough of watching boxing, man, these guys got to stop counter programming each other, man. Like I was hoping that the Tszyu fight would be close to the end or just about to end by the time the ESPN main event started. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I think we were in like round 2 or 3 by the time the ESPN card was rolling and the main event was rolling, and I was like, damn it, I'm not going to be able to score these fights here. There's no need to. I was going to go back and rescore them after the show tonight and maybe do another video on it tomorrow, but there's really no point, in my opinion. I mean, Berchelt got his ass beat. I mean, just straight up, he got fucked up tonight. And and like I said, I think his days at the top of these divisions, wherever he's at, aren't gonna last very long. We got a call coming in, guys. Let's get it.
Run PMC.
To accept, press 1. To send a
Run PMC, my main man. What's going on, man?
What's up, GFUNK? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you, man? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, doing well. Just wanted to call in, talk boxing when I have a quick sec, and first tell you congrats on the new addition to the family. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
No, but I want to talk about, I got to watch the Tszyu fight, and I got to watch the on replay or on recording the Berchelt fight. So I want to start off with Tszyu. I thought he looked good. Definitely very green, but it's good to see him get knocked down again, see the adversity come through. But then, I don't know, I was expecting Gausha to really get catapulted from his last win by knockout and then the early knockdown, but he just, like you said before, just got into that old Gausha with the high guard on the ropes, not really throwing anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. But like I said, I like the way that he was attacking, looking for holes in that guard, and the pill away. I really love when fighters do that. The guy shelled up. They try to bring the hand down and punch over the top. Like, I mean, he's showing some veteran stuff in there, man. But again, I don't like the way he gets squared up sometimes, man. I think that could come back to haunt him against some of these dudes at the top of that division. But overall, I think it was a really good debut for him here in the U.S. I mean, gets dropped in round 1 and he comes back and actually won every single round after that, man.
Oh, yeah, I agree. He basically dominated. Gausha wasn't giving much back, but that's what Tszyu has to go through the early adversity, and then hopefully he can build off this like coming forward. It's going to be interesting to see him against guys at 154 though. Like he's nowhere near ready for Castano and Charlo.
No.
But he's really green. He's young in his career, so it's a good stepping stone for him. But for the next fight, as for Berchelt, man, I'm with you. I think it's time to hang him up or just at least maybe take some prolonged time off and get the health in order because his punch resistance, even being up at a higher weight class, seems to be gone in this one. What do you think about that?
I agree 100% with that, man. he cannot. The punch resistance is just gone, and I think a lot of it, you and I talked a little bit behind the scenes. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he's dropping so much weight. You know, um, I don't know if it's because he's too small to fight at 140, 147. If he feels that way, but it's not healthy for him, and it's showing up in fights now. You know, we seen him in the wars, with guys like Vargas and a few other guys, and he was able to take those shots pretty well. But that's what I was seeing, man. That's why I made that community post 3 hours ago, where I was like, I just have a feeling that this Nakathila is gonna stop Berchelt tonight. He just makes too many mistakes, and once again, not moving his head, not getting his head off the line. When he's forced to fight going backwards, he's just a completely different guy, And I mean, the signs are there, man. It's time. It's time, I think.
Yeah, I was hopeful because you see the little training clips you see out of the Capitio gym now in Vegas. And I'm like, they had him drilling some other different things you might not have seen before. I'm like, I was hopeful to see him, and especially at the higher weight class. But right when I saw the weigh-in yesterday, I was like, oh, he looks super dry. Like he looked like in good shape. Like if you were gonna like throw him on like for a photo shoot or something, but for a boxing match, you could tell he was pretty sucked in again. And I'm like I was texting, I'm like, he better get the caldo and the peaches ready again, because he was all the way sucked in again. But
like peach caldo gate, man.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
It's sad though, because it's like I feel like Berchelt, I mean, he got a lot of hype, which was somewhat warranted because of the names he was beating. But I think people sort of forgot is like what time he was beating like Takashi Miura and then Vargas, where they already had gone to war with each other and both been through the blender, especially Vargas. Like within a year's time, he fought Miura, he fought I think it was Jared Belmontes, and he fought who did he lose to? Or he lost to Berchelt, but he fought another guy. Oh, Orlando Salido. And that was all within like 14 months time, and it was like that was way too much. And a lot of people criticized Golden Boy for that after that. And then Vargas was never the same after that either. So it's for Berchelt, I think it's like we said, it's just being a weight bully to an extent, being one-dimensional, but doing his one dimension really well. But when he fights the guy that is able to poke holes in his boxing game, then that's what happens. And then I think sort of like Tim Bradley and Ward are saying, it's the confidence that might have been broken, because when you're the bully the whole time and someone punches you back, you're either ready to go or you're going to shell up.
Yep. Very true. We've seen it a lot in boxing. When you bully the bully, bad things happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened tonight. Nakathila, I think what for me it was, I feel like he does have decent power. Some might disagree with me, but I feel like he's got decent power, and the hand speed more than anything, I knew was going to be a problem for Berchelt. Same thing with Valdez. When I looked at both guys, it was like hand speed, power, going to be an issue for a guy that gets hit so much, makes so many mistakes. The difference I think with Valdez and Nakathila is again, not he's Valdez more of a counter puncher, so you can make him pay for a lot of those mistakes. As where Nakathila was just right there in front of him, push him back, say, I'm going to be right here in your face all night. What are you going to do? And unfortunately, he couldn't do nothing, and got his ass whooped. But did you get a chance to see the DAZN card today in the early part of the day?
No, I didn't. I saw the results, and I'll probably just watch it like after I get off the phone here before bed. But man, it was if it's as bad as I heard, then they need to get Warrington under control with those headbutts, because 2 fights in a row with big stakes fights, that's ridiculous.
It was bad, dude. It was bad. You could clearly see him, and that's the funny thing. Like, it's almost, I felt like I was watching. You guys know I'm a big pro wrestling fan. I felt like I was watching wrestling where the heel is doing all this illegal stuff, and somehow, some way, the referee doesn't see it. And the sad part is, again, he got warned in round 2, 4, and 6. 3 times the referee warned him. Didn't take a single point, but warns him 3 times. And I'm telling you, Martinez had cuts over both eyes and 1 cut in the middle of his forehead. Like, it was just too much, man. Too much.
Especially a guy of Kiko's age with all that scar tissue buildup, and like
Yep.
I'm sure he's cutting weight. He used to cut weight like crazy. So that's just a recipe. If you have someone leading with their head, Billy Goat like he was, and then you have someone that's that old with that much built up scar tissue. But in the end, I mean, I'll have to watch the fight to make judgment, but it's just a first recipe. But if Warrington wants to move on and they sort of want to fight all those fights over there, like they had mentioned Lee Wood after, because I did see the post fight, then I guess just do that. But you're gonna have to come face the big guys if you want real respect if you, at the weight class, opposed to just fighting more domestic fights. But I'm gonna have to cut out. But one thing I want to say is it's sort of regarding Berchelt, which is I mean, it's sort of sad to see because I'm a fan of Berchelt, even though I did pick Valdez, and it's when you look at like the boxers that have like, because Berchelt, I think before they were talking about his granite chin he had like 2 years ago, like back like maybe it's up to 5 years ago now when you think he beat Vargas, was when you always have those boxers that have like the granite chin until they don't anymore. Like Brandon Rios, like granite chin, but he cut weight like crazy.
Yeah.
Chavez Jr., granite chin, cut weight like crazy. Now Berchelt, granite chin, cuts weight like crazy, and then it's just not there anymore. Like Brandon Rios was getting knocked out by Danny Garcia, not with a hook, but with like a little pull counter right, like a straight right. And then Chavez was getting stopped by Fanfara. Like Fanfara is good, but he's not that power puncher. So
yeah,
it's there until it's not there, right?
Exactly. No, you're right, man. And hey, man, always great talking boxing with you. And
Most definitely.
you know, I thank you for the call and for the well wishes, you know, and everything, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And hey, man, check out the fight. Let me know what you think, man. We'll talk about it again. But I want to thank you for calling in, brother. I got another call coming in, so I appreciate you, man.
Most definitely. I'll talk to you.
All right, man. That was my guy, Run PMC. Caller, go ahead and call back. I can only take one call at a time. So if you want to call in, you know, if you hear me on the line with somebody, just go ahead and wait and until the phone line clears up. Divine Sense, what's going on, man? Good to see you back. My man Alex from the 916 is here. What's up, bro? Good to see you too. Fotex says, "What's up, G-Funky? It's time for Berchelt to retire. Guy is getting served a severe brain damage." Yep, absolutely. Lion Killer in the house, my man. The Lion Killer. I see Gary here says that first headbutt led to the knockdown in the first round, and Kiko never recovered. That's a good point. You could see he got a little wobbled from that, and he was bleeding right away, and then he goes down from like the next big punch that lands on him. I just horrible ref tonight over there in England. Just horrible, man. And yeah, I don't understand it, man. I was not a fan of it at all. But there the numbers on the screen, guys. 916 5721020. My bad. Puerto Rican Rum in the house. What's up, man? Call in, guys. Let me know what you think. And we'll go from there, man. But I did not like the referee at all. I did not like it, man. I didn't get a chance to hear if they interviewed Martinez. I don't think they did after the fight. But I mean, it was just so obvious, man. So obvious. Let's see here. Judges are so bad and England is scary. Dude, what did you guys think of the judging in the female fight? I feel like there's bad judging there too. I really do. I think one judge gave the blonde bomber like every round. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I did not see that. To me, that was the blonde bomber to me was winning the majority of the early rounds, and then Roman picked it up late. So I think it was a close fight, man, but they had that shit lopsided, man. That's ridiculous. Tszyu performed well tonight, although he got dropped in the first. Yep. And he was hurt by that shot. You know, it wasn't bad balance or anything like that. He got hit in the middle of a punch that he was throwing. Good counter shot by Gausha. Beautiful. Right on the money. But he recovered quickly. You see, came on strong at the end of that round, but doesn't matter. He still loses the extra point in that round. And did a good job of coming back, man. Good job. Let's see here. Gary says the scoring was crazy. Ebony won by a round or two max. Yeah, I agree. It was a close fight, man. Very, very close fight. Another call coming in, guys.
Lion Killer Podcast.
To ex-
My main man, Lion Killer Podcast. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh man, just chilling, man. After a long day of fights, man. You want to talk about these fights? Which ones you want to talk about, man? We got plenty of them.
Well, I caught the UFC event and I caught the Berchelt Nakathila fight, that card. I gotta say, Berchelt's career is over. I kind of felt that way after the previous fight with Valdez, but this was a stamp. I just see things. I believe neurologically he might have some issues. It's just the way that the way he's taking punches. It's scary to me. So I think he needs to really evaluate his career and what he needs to do moving forward. Yeah, it's over for him, buddy. That's what I think.
No, it's a good point you make. The response that he has when he gets hit with a good clean shot doesn't look very good. He gets the Bambi legs, and just not recovering. Like you go back and watch some of his older fights, and he's always been a very hittable guy, but he's taken those shots well from those guys. Now I don't know if it's those guys don't hit as hard as some of these guys that he's fighting now, or just not as good, but he can't take those shots anymore, man. And it's gonna get ugly for him, especially at these weight classes. I mean, now he's at 135. I mean,
every boxer has a number. They have a number of punches that they can take before they can't take them anymore. And so when you're a guy whose punch defense is their face, you will ultimately fall to the number of punches that you've taken over a career. So that's what we saw. It started in the Valdez fight. And like I was saying earlier, he made Nakathila look like Tommy Hearns tonight. I mean, he looked like Tommy Hearns. Berchelt was taking so many 1-2 punches, jab, straight, right. I mean, it was ugly. Yes. Totally ugly. Whether they worked on defense with the new trainer or not, it didn't show. And he was essentially the same fighter after a couple of shots to the head.
Yep.
I saw him trying to move on the back foot. I saw him trying to do a few things early. But again, once that man got touched, back to form. And man, I know his trainer knew that this kid couldn't take these shots anymore, man.
He had to.
He
had to. Yes, exactly. He had to. Fotex here is in the chat. He says, wasn't he known for a granite chin? Berchelt, that is. Yeah, that's what I was told going into the Valdez fight. And, I kept telling.
That was at a lighter weight.
Yeah. And I kept telling people.
That was at a lighter weight. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I kept telling people then. And maybe they thought I was just being sarcastic because I picked Valdez to knock him out, but they really matched him well through a majority of his career, man. Just go back and look. You can look it up on BoxRec. How many counter punchers had he been in there with? Not many, if any at all, until he fought Valdez. And it was terrible that night. And tonight he just got hit with clean, straight 1-2s down the pike.
With no damn counter punching tonight.
Yeah.
He was punching on.
Just right there.
Punching on point.
Yeah. Right there in his face. Had him on the back foot. And like you said, deer in headlights. He had the deer in headlights look after about round 3 or 4. And that was all she wrote. That was all she wrote at that point, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. He didn't learn anything. And I just don't think you can change the guy at this point. I don't think you can. So I think his days at the top of these divisions are over. Go ahead, bro.
Think about how many fights he's had where he's taken punches. Again, the numbers. Every human body has a finite number of impacts that it can take before the damage is chaotic, colossal. So, this guy this guy has taken a lot of punishment, even though it may have not been visible. It is accumulated. That's what it looks like. And, you know, like we were talking on the phone earlier, neurological damage is certain to me.
Yeah.
I see it. I mean, I saw it the last fight. You know, you don't walk like that, you know, an entire fight. And that shit is not temporary. It will have long-term effects. You know, the fight before that, what was it? What was that guy's name? Visas and forget the other kid's name. The kid that won. Those guys, same thing. Defense with the face, defense with the body. That all those punches thrown in a fight. You got to learn to bob and weave. You got to learn to move. You know, it will take its toll. You know, some men are just tough. Like Julio Cesar Chavez could take a punch. It didn't wear him out because he was doing most of the punishing. But you don't know how many shots he was away from taking that certain shot. You know, everybody has a number. Yeah. And so, you know, it just depends on your style. Yeah. And Berchelt, he got used up like a rubber, man.
Yeah. You know, it's really sad too, because it's some of the first things you learn when you start training. Like I remember learning literally the simplest thing, throwing a 1-2 slip counter, you know, like like he just did not move his head at all tonight. At all. Like it's bad, man. It's really bad, you know.
Excuse me. Yeah, it is sad.
Yep.
He has no more reflexes. His reflexes are spent. But again, you also got to think about not only this, it's the caliber of fighters that he was facing before this too.
Yep.
You know, Oscar Valdez was a different animal for him.
Yeah.
Nakatani, who I told you, I think fundamentally is horrible.
Yeah.
His stance is trash. His balance is horrible. He's one of the worst balanced fighters I've seen. Again, he like Tommy Hearns tonight. And if a guy like that is beating you, not to take anything away from Nakatani, but a guy that fundamentally is beating you, you have fundamental issues and you have physical issues. And it's time to go.
Yep.
It just really is.
I agree 100%, man. And hey, man, before I let you go, I want to tell my viewers here, my subscribers, you and Nate have done some really good work previewing these fights coming up. You guys did Ugas versus Spence. You did Haney versus Kambosos, even though that fight's looking like it's probably not going to happen. But either way, you guys did a really good job of just, you know, like I said, previewing, looking at the style matchup and stuff like that. Guys, I shared one of the videos. I'll probably share the other one too on my community page. Check it out. Really good stuff from my man Lion Killer, Nate Campbell. Great stuff, man. Keep them coming, man. And maybe one of these days I could sit in with you guys, man, and we could preview another one of these big fights coming up, man.
All you gotta do, text or call me. It's all good.
Absolutely, man.
You're good to go.
As soon as I get some free, like I said, I'm always free late at night around this time because, you know, my kids are asleep and everything. So, you know, but if I'm free,
man, I understand your pain there.
Yeah, man. But thanks for calling in, bro. I appreciate it. And, you know, we'll talk again later, bro.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
All right, have a good one.
That was my man from Lion Killer from the Lion Killer podcast. Make sure you guys check him out, man. Him and Nate Campbell do really good stuff over there, man. And those previews that they did for those fights were excellent, man. Gary here says Portobellum card yesterday in England had a British champ called Troy Williamson, won by a round, and the judges had Troy winning nearly every round. England needs to suspend the judges. Yeah, they have some bad judging over there. He lost money on that fight. I made a ton of money on that one, man. Berchelt was Top Rank's baby. He cost Bob not a lot of money and was exciting headliner. Bob will be crying tonight. Let's see. Fotex said punches will accumulate later in life. We'll take a look, take its effects. Look at Vargas. Yep. Fernando Vargas definitely showing those signs. Brandon Rios as well. Yep. Adds up. My man Haplo Type in the house. What's up, bro? He says Tszyu won, but looked open as fuck in there. Yeah, I mean he's got the high guard. There's some holes in it. Gausha got a few shots in there, dropped him. But the important thing was that he was able to take him, continue to put the pressure on. He got up and recovered, and did his thing tonight. This just gave Shakur Stevenson win more credibility. I mean, look, my opinion on that fight was, I mean, there's a lot of people that, and I wasn't a big fan of the way that Shakur fought that night, but he got the job done. A win is a win. But there were some things in there that I seen from Nakathila. Like I said, the hand speed is one thing. I feel like he was able to keep up with Stevenson a little bit as far as hand speed goes. Now, obviously, Shakur far more skilled, use the lateral movement and the timing that he does, got impeccable timing. So that's why I picked Nakathila to stop Berchelt tonight, man. I feel like the hand speed was going to give him problems, and it gave him problems straight out the gate. Gary says, Tim reminds me of David Benavidez. Explain to me how. I want to hear how you see that, because I'm not really seeing that. Just let me know how you think they compare to each other. I got it in good authority that Haney versus Kambosos will happen. I hope it does, bro. I hope it does. That's a fight I want to see. Fight I definitely want to see. Hey, my man Mark Nash in here, man. He says Tim had no fear of return fire. He was open. Yeah. Well, I don't think he's ever going to be that guy that's going to make you miss and make you pay. If he makes you miss, it's going to be most likely off of a block from the high guard. There were some, it was crazy. Go back and watch. He did do a few pull counters in there where Gausha was leading with that right, and he kind of pulled back and then threw a quick little uppercut, But I don't think he's ever going to be that guy. He is who he is. He's going to come forward like his dad. I feel like, again, he should be not as square, get better balance. And, we'll go from there, man. Let's see. Shakur was aware of the power. Yeah, he even mentioned it. He even mentioned it after the fight that he can hit. The GOAT Mario P. Valdez beat years out of Berchelt. All of his power shots were landing every time you step up in the ring. You have to be sharp as attack, or you can literally die. No doubt. No doubt about it, guys. I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes, guys. Like I said, we just had a new addition to the family. So GFUNK is a little tired. Trying to stay up late, talk some box with you guys. Go ahead and give me a call. The number's on the phone, on the screen right there. And we'll talk some more of these fights, man. Any of these fights you want to talk about, man, from the Zone, PBC, ESPN, Top Rank, all good fights tonight. I enjoyed watching them. Stayed at home with the family and chilled and just watched boxing, man. Nothing better. Fotex, don't observe punch accumulation because Parkinson's disease in later age. Or don't it? I don't know, man. From my understanding on something like Parkinson's, I think it's something that's I don't think it's hereditary, but I think it's just something that happens. That's, I don't know though. I haven't studied enough of it to say for sure. I don't know if it's related to any kind of head trauma or anything like that. Boxing Dialogue says fight I'd like to see is Kell Brook versus Tim Tszyu. Ooh. Yeah. At 154 pounds, I think that would suit Brook good too. Doesn't have to, make a welterweight anymore. Decent fight. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. But Tszyu's moving in the right direction, man. He's definitely moving in the right direction. This was his first fight here in the States, and I thought he looked good, man. Had a little hiccup in the first round, but recovered and went on to win the fight pretty convincingly, man. Fotex says that's 50-50. Absolutely. Brook is very skilled still, He did steal a couple of rounds in there from Terrence Crawford in their fight. And we saw what he did to Amir Khan. Now Amir Khan's a guy again who was never able to take a good punch. But he's looking pretty good, man. Not looking so bad, Kell Brook. Let's see, just the nonstop pressure reminds me of David. Oh, hey, Dad, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that one. I feel like Benavidez, not much, doesn't really like to go on the inside much. He knows his range. He's a mid-range guy. Um, Throws more combinations. I feel like he changes speed on his punches a little bit better than Tszyu. But look, I like what Tszyu's doing, man. I really do, man. I like the way that they're moving him, and keep the keep going, man. Keep the progress going. Got another phone call coming in here, guys. Give me a second. Let's see who we got.
This is Alex from Sagtown.
To accept, press
My man Alex, what's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on? Happy Saturday, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be back with you guys, talking some boxing, and feels good, man. Thanks for calling in, man. What do you want to talk about, man? We got a bunch of fights here, man.
Absolutely, man. First off, I know you were taking a brief, hiatus. First off, congratulations on the newborn.
Thank you, man.
This is the first time, the first time I got to speak with you this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'll take my hat off to you, and I wish nothing but the best for you and your lady, and blessings this year.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do.
Absolutely, my guy. I'm just gonna stay, on track with the upcoming fight. I just want to touch briefly, what's on the schedule. We kick indoors down in springtime now, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be the big one coming up is the Ugas and Spence. That's gonna be a great fight. I think that the hype is about to pick up. I saw on the Showtime broadcast they said that they're gonna be doing a little highlight show, like a little in-depth in-camp show, like a 60-minute show, preview show, doing some promotions behind the fight. This is a can't miss fight. I think that it could go either way. I think that Spence got the slight edge, but you don't want to sleep on Ugas. I think Ugas, he's coming off of the win against Pacquiao. He's riding that momentum. And, they say the man, once he becomes the champion, he's that tougher to beat. I think it's going to be the same for Ugas. He's going to pull out the upset maybe, or he's going to go out on his shield.
That's great. That's a great point, man. And I agree with a lot of what you said. Spence is most likely probably going to be the favorite going in for good reason. He's the unified champion at 147 pounds. But you said something very important about Ugas. He's coming off of a big win over Pacquiao. Old or not, he beat Pacquiao. He's got momentum right now. He's been active, as where Spence has not been so active. He missed all of last year, didn't fight. And he's been injured a couple of times. He's been in a car accident. He's had a retina surgery. So there's questions, man. There's a lot of questions still with Spence. Although, look, when he comes back against Garcia, he looks like himself. So, but look, it's again, momentum is a real thing. And like you said, when a guy gets a belt around his waist, man, it could turn him into something else, And I'm not sleeping on Ugas at all, man. I think this is a tremendous matchup, man.
Yeah, and I've seen a few clips on the Instagram. Ugas in camp, he looked hungry, he looked locked in. But just staying on the schedule, on the trail of what we got coming up in April, we're gonna see Tyson Fury versus Dillian White. That's gonna be entertaining. Tyson Fury is a can't miss show, and then we got Serrano, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. This is a anticipated fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think that Amanda Serrano, she's gonna pull it out and etch her name in the Puerto Rican boxing history books. And then Valdez, Shakur Stevenson. April is like a
fire. It's
like a birthday gift. Yeah, we got birthday gifts coming. It's Christmas came early, and then next month. I'm sorry, April. Yeah, then May is Canelo.
Canelo's back. Yeah.
That's like the Super Bowl for us, Cinco de Mayo. So we got a lot to look forward to. But I don't want to take too much of your time, GFUNK. Just wanted to touch bases with you, my dude. Send you my respects. It's great to see you back. And I'd like to see you on the solo man mission. It's good to see you by yourself sometime rocking too.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. And hey, look, man, I was rocking with Xavier, man, against Consecao. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he keeps his head up, man, and comes back strong. I'm gonna be looking to go travel around, man. So, once this pandemic is over and everything's cool, I'm gonna be looking around for him, man, and go over to the gyms and stuff, man. So, but hey, man, I appreciate the call, man. I really do, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, absolutely, GFUNK. I send mine, and you have a buenas noches, brother.
All right, you too, brother. Thank you so much. That was my man Alex from the 916, man. Good call. Like the energy, man. That was good stuff here. I'm gonna read some comments here and might wrap this one up pretty quickly here. Like I said, man, I'm getting a little bit tired, but it says he's getting the winner of Charlo Castaño. Who's that? Tszyu, you think? Ooh, might be a little too early for that one, but crazy how much he looks like his dad. He just needs the rat. The little Mongolian on the top, huh, with the braid. That guy in the co-main, Rivera, Jesus Christ, he's a spitting image of Ali. Yeah, he looks a little bit like a young Cassius Clay. To me, they mentioned Tito Trinidad. I don't think he looks too much like Trinidad. In my opinion, to me, he really looks like Julian Jackson, the Hawk. That's what he kind of looks like to me. If anybody. Another call coming in, guys.
D-Style.
My brother D-Style Boxing. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man? They see me rolling. They're hating. You know what I mean? I'm just driving down here. Thought I'd call right away.
Appreciate the call, brother. What's on your mind?
A couple of things. First of all, when it comes to Miguel Berchelt, he is done. All right. I said this. I actually said it right after the Valdez fight. I said that fight went like 4 or 5 rounds too long. I meant it then, and I feared this. So he just isn't the same. Like period. Like it's just and he's not going to be the same. So it is what it is. Like I don't want to trash the guy. I think he did what he needed to do to be successful at a certain level. I don't think Berchelt would be successful if he boxed the way a lot of people wanted him to box.
Yeah.
If he did that, he probably never becomes a world champion. Everyone has a different style. Everyone has a different way of doing it. But some guys are just shooting stars, like there's only – we already know that a style that is offensive-minded and not a lot of defense in there is not going to last very long in the sport of boxing. So enjoy it while you see it because those styles, they just don't last,
Yeah.
But – as far as I just need to say this, man. I didn't think Warrington was going to do it. I thought Warrington was a broken fighter. I thought after I saw that rematch with Lara, I was like, this dude is done. But what I overestimated was, Kiko's not Lara though. I mean, Kiko Martinez, he's a good fighter. He's not Lara.
No.
And I still think. I know a lot of fans are saying the wrong thing, and I keep hearing them. Too many fans are playing matchmaker, and they're like, "Oh, he should stay away from Lara. Lara will fuck him up if he fights Lara." No. I want to see Lara get his damn opportunity with him again. You know what I mean? I want to see that trilogy, and I know that Warrington is not going to win, but I just want to see it for conclusion purposes,
right?
And because it gives Lara an opportunity to get the other belt. That's just the way I feel about it. But the headbutt thing was a little unfortunate. He definitely does a little bit of a Bradley thing there. I mean, Warrington, right? The ref caught it and warned him, but he never did anything. The ref never lived up to what he was going to do. It was not a good performance by the ref.
3 warnings.
But I do got to say that I still feel like, despite all that Warrington overcame some demons there. You know what I mean? I think he got a lot of confidence when he got the knockdown early, and he fought in a way that I haven't seen him fight in a while. And it's just the little spark of energy he got. But, man, I have no clue if he would have won this fight if it wasn't for that cut.
Yeah.
I felt like I don't think Kiko was hurt. I think Kiko was trying to make sure the cut didn't get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he was kind of like covering up. I don't feel he was hurt or anything.
Yeah.
And most of his punches were not landing, but the ref jumped in and stopped it. Well, I mean, it's whatever, but I think that's what it was, man. But it was a good fight, though. Also, look, I'm not a fan of the blonde bomber. All right. I think her fans overrate the shit out of her.
Yes.
She's not even the best Australian boxer, okay, in that division. All right. I just need to make sure people understand this. Right. But nonetheless, look, Roman was 39 years old. But you know what I knew about Roman? I knew that she lost to Melissa Parker, who's 3-0 as a boxer. And I know what type of boxer or fighter that Melissa Parker is, which is kind of identical to the blonde bomber, right? So I kind of figured, well, she has a shot, she's going to win here, you know? And for some weird reason, Roman decided to go forward and just, you know, have a guard up for the first 3 rounds and basically just handed those rounds to Ebony Bridges. I have no idea I think the plan was, let's have her punch herself out and then we'll take over. But, dude, they're only 2-minute rounds. You only got 10 rounds of them. So, like, it's that strategy is not the smartest strategy when you only have 20 minutes to fight. It just isn't.
Yep.
You know, if you had 3 minutes, 12 rounds, then it's a different story. But I just felt it was not a good strategy. And I think strategically they lost that fight. Because in the second half, it was clear to me that if Roman wanted to pick up the pace, and she could have done it. She would have likely won that fight. But she didn't do it.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree 100%, man. I feel like the game plan was bad to just they almost seemed like they were like, hey, man, we're gonna just let her try to punch herself out and come on late and maybe, you know, win on points or maybe even stop her. I mean, it looked like it was working, but like you said, not enough time. Not enough time, you know? Not enough time for that.
Hey, but brother, like Roman had 0 knockouts.
Yeah.
She's never knocked anybody out, and now she's gonna knock somebody out. Like, it's not a good game plan. Like,
no.
That's the type of game plan a puncher has.
Right.
You know what I mean? like that's what you do if you're the puncher. You're trying to set something big up. I felt like it was just a dumb game plan all around. Like, I can give you the first round and feel her power or whatever, but here's another thing. Does Ebony really hit that hard? I mean,
no.
She has like a 30% knockout ratio, and she's only knocked women that have like upside down records and have been knocked out before out. You know what I mean? Like this whole, like the commentary kept saying too much for my liking. They kept saying, "Oh, Ebony, she's such a big puncher. she's a big puncher." Like, is she really though? I saw her hit Roman flush. I saw Roman turn her head more times.
Right. Body shots too.
Especially in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, landing good body shots too.
I'm just saying, and look, I don't think Ebony, like, she won this fight. I scored it for her. I scored it 6-4, right? But I don't think she won that last fight. I don't even remember the name of the girl, but I don't think she won that fight. I thought she got her ass kicked in that fight. She gets a title fight out of that, right? Shannon Courtney just got beat up in her fight. Okay, by another opponent. And they're talking about how this is a feud, we're going to unify. I don't know. If they fight the girls they need to fight, they're not going to remain champions. None of those 2 girls. Well, Shannon already lost her belt, but I don't see Ebony hanging on to it if they put her in there with some real competition. But I have news for everybody. They're not going to put her in there with competition. I think in Eddie Hearn's mind, you know, he's going to try to make money off of her. And unfortunately, that's the sport we're in.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's never going to be up to the blonde bomber either. I think Eddie Hearn's like, yo, I invested in you. I'm going to get some ticket sales out of this and some or whatever, and I'm going to milk it for as long as I can. She's already 35, bro. Blonde bomber. She's 35 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't just going to like. She don't got time to like have her lose and come back. Like, he's going to try to like milk her as long as possible. I don't know who the hell they're going to put in the ring with. All right. But once they put her in there with somebody real, she's going to get beat. That's just the reality.
Yep. Just like the way Courtney did, man. I feel like that was a thorough boxing lesson she put on that night.
Courtney is just like an average fighter, though. Like, she got beat up in her last fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It kind of is what it is. But Roman was 39. She's feather-fisted even for the women. And I feel it was just a bad game plan. But she wasn't the champion they made her out to be. Like it sounds nice when you say, like, did you hear what they were saying?
Yeah, she's been champion for years.
Been unbeaten as a champion. No shit, dude. Melissa Parker beat her.
Yeah.
Last year. What do you mean she's been unbeaten? You could say she's been unbeaten in title fights, but when they put her in there with someone solid, okay, we don't even know how good Melissa is. But
yeah.
she lost.
Yeah.
So, like, this was a calculated risk, you know, and nonetheless, she still gets a congratulations. Good for her. She won the belt. Good for her, right? But, dude, like, 4 belts is so many belts for the women divisions anyway. It's so many belts, bro.
Yep.
There's not a lot of talent there for them to have 4 belts.
Yep.
Right? So I don't think it's going to last. And one more thing. I mean, why is everyone losing this shit because Tszyu got dropped? Like, I mean,
he recovered right away.
Shit happens, bro. Like you're supposed to go through these trials and tribulations on your way up to the title. This stuff is normal, bro. Like, it's so. What if he got dropped? It's not about him getting dropped. It's about how did he respond to getting dropped.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, there's guys that are veterans get dropped and they don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? He stayed composed, he got back up, and he took care of business for the rest of the fight.
He certainly did.
He didn't continue. He made a mistake, but it's not these aren't bad patterns he's showing. He made a mistake and he paid the price for it. Yep. I believe he made a small adjustment and fixed a mistake.
He absolutely did, man. And that's just the way the fans of boxing that we're dealing with these days. Like you say, flawless victory syndrome. You know, I mean, he got caught with a good shot, nice counter shot by Gausha. But he recovers and does his thing the rest of the fight. I didn't give Gausha another round after that. I just didn't. So I mean,
it's not like, I mean, is Gausha a terrible fighter? Like I mean, all we heard was, it's going to be a good test for Tszyu. This is going to show us if he's the truth or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys believe the things you say or not? Like, is he the guy that's going to show us if Tszyu is the truth?
No.
Or is he a guy that if he has a moment of success, it exposes Tszyu? Like, well, what does that even mean, right?
Right. That's the way it is,
crazy,
man.
Bro.
That's the way it is around these days. You know that, man. But I appreciate you calling in, man. Appreciate it. I'm getting ready to wrap it up here, man, because I'm getting tired. Daddy's getting tired, man.
Right,
but
brother.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you so much, brother. Take it easy, man. That was my man D Style Boxing of HCP, man. You know the crew. You see the hashtag on the screen right there. I'm gonna read some more comments here, and then I'm gonna head out. Hey, Cholo, man. Hey, man. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, man. I just been so crazy busy, man. I mean, we talked a little bit behind the scenes, but yeah, it was just a little bit too early for my time to go over there and watch wrestling. Talk wrestling with you. I'm more free at this time, late night. That's just my schedule right now, man. But I appreciate the invite, man. I really do. And I'll check out the live, probably tomorrow. Let's see here. Photic says, guys, where Spence may reveal Bud Crawford in the broadcast like some WWE promo. I hope so, man. I hope so. Exactly. He's got momentum. And if he jabs Spence's eyes straight away, it could get interesting. Yeah. And that right hand he likes to throw is right in target for that eye of Spence's too. I'm looking forward to that fight as well. I don't know, man. It all depends on my schedule, bro. It all depends on my schedule. I didn't want to step away from the podcast, but I had to, man. I got things going on. See, Katie has been looking old, and I'm Irish, so it pains me to say that. But timing is everything, and there has never been a better time to fight Katie than right now, and Amanda is a great fighter. I agree. My man Remy here says Amanda Serrano has difficulty with moving fighters. Little bit, yeah. Needs a better game plan. He needs a lot of things. He needs a lot of things, man. Sad to see. Toto says sad to see Berchelt that way. Yep. I mean, I don't know if you can teach it. There's a saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I just think Berchelt is who he is at this point. And I don't know if we're going to see those kind of those adjustments. Hey, what's going on, man? I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Like I said, I'm still getting used to new things going on in my life, but I didn't want to step away from too long. I didn't watch the fights tonight, so I want to come on and talk with you guys a little bit. And I enjoy the fact, that I can take phone calls now. I can talk with you guys a little, more people, more comfortable. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. I really do, man. Thank you. Let's see. Rayo versus Michel Rivera. Ooh, it's a good fight. Good fight. I would love to see it. I don't think it happens, though, but I would like to see it. But like I said, guys, I want to give everyone a hand who called in and everyone that was listening here live. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. I'll be doing these as many post-fight call-in shows as I can for each fight. When I'm available, I'll definitely be here to take some phone calls from you guys. I appreciate everything, man. Gary says, thanks, GFUNK. Appreciate it, man. And, like I said, man, I'm more available late night for me for right now. So, but yeah, man, a lot of fights tonight, and I appreciate everyone here, and I enjoyed watching them, man. So the band is going to take us home, guys. We'll see you on the next one. GFUNK is out of here, man. Peace.